Welcome back to the Labor Lounge, everybody. Thank you for rocking with me. Today, I want to share a little story with you. I'm celebrating yesterday, actually, on April 12th. It made my 2 year mark from the last time that I smoked a cigarette. Uh, I'm proud of myself. When you think about where I started this journey at from 2021 to today, with the weight that I've been able to lose, with me being able to quit smoking, with just my overall well being improving as much as it has. I just wanted to take this trip down memory lane because I think it's good to kind of look back to see where you've been and to see where I'm at today. But I'm gonna focus on the smoking today because I think that's something that I really made a change that has helped me significantly. When I say get up, get out, and get active, I get up in the morning on my days off and I go and I run 1 or 2 miles, just depending on how I feel. I wasn't able to do that 3 years ago. So those are just one of the pillars that I'm really proud of because, I put it in my head that this is what I was going to do. And I know that my doctor is super proud of me because she has always been on me about, Jimmy, you need the big man, Jimmy, you know my name. You need to quit smoking. You got to get this weight off you. These are the things you always heard when you went to the doctor. I'm just happy that I kind of got some of that stuff behind me. Am I perfect? No, we still got room for improvement, but every day I get a little bit better and better. So I do want to share some things that I remember looking back, right? Um, I don't know if when we used to watch TV, we used to have to watch commercials before Netflix and all these other platforms took over. And you used to see certain commercials come on to the television. Well, we're going to look at a couple of those today because I still vividly remember when I used to see some of these things, I would get up and I would leave the room or I would change the channel because I didn't want to see that because I was an active smoker. But we're going to look at them, take this trip down memory lane, and we'll continue talking about this topic.
I'm Mary, and I used to be a smoker. I want to give you some tips about getting ready in the morning. First, you need then wig, then your hands-free device, and now you're ready for the day.
That's just one. Now tell me you don't remember those truth commercials when they used to come out. You would hear that voice, see that lady with that thing in her neck, the stoma. Her name is Terry. Uh, and tell me you didn't want to change the channel, or you took that moment to go and step outside to smoke your cigarette. I know that's what I did. I didn't want to see that. It was one of the scariest things in the world, especially being an active smoker. It's like, man, that's what could happen to me. And I mean, granted, you don't have to be a smoker for it to happen, but if that's increasing the cause of that, yeah, that wasn't something I wanted to look at. So I definitely remember those truth commercials. Some of those things actually hit home heavy because I just didn't want to see it. So if y'all remember that, y'all go ahead, get in the comments and start talking to me, man, because we really, you know what? I'm happy that I'm able to put this behind me. And, it wasn't an easy road. Even sometimes I watch TV, it's still not an easy path. I could see an action movie and somebody get through in a shootout and they light a cigarette and I still get the little tinge like, dang, the cigarette look good. I used to smoke cigars, right? So if I smoke, or excuse me, if I drank a glass of whiskey or scotch or whatever I was doing and I had a good cigar, it was just a perfect pairing. So yeah, I definitely was deep into it. I think I started smoking back when I was 17, 16 years old. And if I remember correctly, some of us were little renegades. We would sit behind a bush and somebody would come across all these cigarettes. We just be sitting behind a bush smoking cigarettes like it was just the end thing to do. And I remember one time one of our friends got caught by his mother and she told everybody. This was back when the village was raised in the neighborhood. They told my mother and I didn't hear the end of it. Matter of fact, my first cigarette I had, it was actually me taking one from my pops who used to smoke Benson and Hedges menthol ultralights. Benson and Hedges menthol ultralights. We used to go play basketball every Sunday, and I remember he would stop, get his pack of cigarettes, and we'd head over to the basketball court. But that was my first encounter with cigarettes, and then it just kind of, because it was a fad and other people was doing it, we had this pack mentality. I ended up getting into that, but it was easy not to really address or deal with the addiction back then, because you're a kid, you don't have access to it all the time. It really didn't hit me until I turned 18 years old. I graduated high school and I could walk into a store and buy my own pack. You know, it started with Black and Milds, and then when you didn't have a Black and Mild, somebody had a Newport, and there goes the trend. So I ended up doing that. I think so. We're talking about 2 years ago. I'm 39, so I ended up smoking from 19 basically all the way up into 37. That's a long time to be smoking cigarettes. And then you remember commercials like this here.
When you have a hole in your neck, don't face the shower head.
Suction out your tube before you eat.
Crouch. Don't bend over. You don't want to lose the food in your stomach. Don't use spray paint.
Be very careful shaving.
Videos like this will leave a stain on you. It'll leave a stain on you, because I still vividly remember. I'll be sitting down watching TV in the evening and those commercials would pop up. So, I feel for those people and what they had to go through, the pain that they had to go through, the pain that they caused on their family, because I know they went through it too. But I'm glad that they shared the story, because even though it wasn't my main motivation to quit smoking, it definitely something that had it seared something in my mind. So when it was time for me to quit and I made the conscious effort that I wasn't going to smoke anymore, you know, it played a part. Now, my main motivation was my family. You know, I got 3 kids today, and I remember even still, I would pick my kids up from time to time, and I used to smoke in the car. So think about secondhand smoke. My whole car smelled like cigarette, and I'm picking up my kids. So I had so many reasons to stop outside of the weight loss. It was just, to me, the right thing to do, and it was the right time. So today, like I'm saying, I'm celebrating my 2-year smoke-free journey. I look to keep this thing going, and I just look to keep improving myself every day. And if I have a message that I give to anybody, is that don't give up. You know, my first time I attempted, I was able to stop for a year, and I ended up picking it back up, and then I quit them a bunch of micro times in between there. But this time is like it's a little different for me, because I don't want to go back. I'm saving money too, because now that what I used to smoke Newports, they cost like $9-10 today, and I could really use that money doing something else by building this studio and putting content out here on YouTube. So with all that being said, man, if you're a smoker, do your best to get out there and quit. My drug of choice to quit was nicotine gum. It helped me get through all of those cravings, and it's not the nicotine that's just going to automatically make you want to stop. You have to mentally be ready to stop. And if you're mentally ready to stop and you're willing to go through the aches and pains that come along with quitting smoking, you know, you can do what you want to do. But with, like all things, if you're going to really get rid of a bad habit, you got to replace it with a good habit. For me, when I started working out, when I started focusing on my diet, when I started focusing on the way that I eat and these things, it was easy to put the bad habits aside, because I had immersed myself with good habits. And by immersing myself in those good habits, it took away a lot of those cravings and that downtime you have. One of the biggest things I realized with quitting smoking, and people don't understand this when I tell them, it was the car rides. I used to drive to Miami to go to work, right? It's about a 30-45 minute drive, depending on traffic. But then it just felt like the car rides took that much longer because I wasn't smoking anymore. So it just felt like I was in the car for a very long time because I didn't have anything filling in that space. So that was one thing I really took away from smoking. Outside of the way I feel amazing. I could get up, I could walk. I don't get tired walking around with my kids. I could run around and play with my kids. I can get up and go jogging, take care of my health. So there's just so many benefits to me quitting smoking that I encourage anybody who is a smoker, man, if you could find it in yourself, put it down, and the dividends will pay. The dividends will pay. So anybody who doesn't smoke, don't pick it up. It's not a good habit, and it's hard to put down once you get there. And then another thing that people don't really think about today, you know, somebody who smokes cigarettes and walk past me and I smell them and I always think, damn, I used to smell like that. You think you put on all this cologne you want to, Axe body spray, whatever. Man, listen, it doesn't cover up the cigarette smoke. So keep that in mind too. You walking around, you dressed, suited and booted, Sunday's best, and then you walk by somebody and you smell like an ashtray. It's just not a good look on that aspect. And I know that I used to be in that boat. That's probably what I used to smell like. So that's another benefit that I'm glad I put that thing behind me. So let me get off my high horse. I'm going to keep enjoying my day. I'm going to keep celebrating my 2-year smoke-free journey. And to everybody out there, I appreciate you rocking with me. If you hung around and listened to this, man, I wish you all the best. Thank you. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, man, and just keep trying to get better every day, man. Y'all keep getting up, getting out, and get active, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out.